All right, guys, what's up, everybody? It's Miranda Alcaraz, and this is episode number 23 of the More Than Nothing podcast. Hope you guys are having a good day today. I'm having a great day today. The sun is out. We live in the Pacific Northwest. That doesn't happen very often this time of year. And we got a lot going on here at the office and just everything. Stuff's good. This past week, as you guys know, I like to do these episodes based on real things that I've got on my mind or things that have happened or just things that have come up that have given me like a topic that I'm feeling extra passionate about at the time. I got a random package from my dad this past week. He's such a nerd. He wrote so this package was clearly sent on January 20th of 2020 because he wrote it on the top. And inside the package, there was a letter and a business plan that I had written in 2008, 12 years ago, for my gym that I owned in Salt Lake City, Utah, from 2008 to 2011. When I was 25 years old, I wrote this business plan. Today's episode, this really gave me the fire for it. It's going to be about patience. It's going to be about definitely taking risks, but also understanding that the path is going to lead where the path leads, and just to keep your head down and work hard and take opportunities. But the main thing here that I want people to take away is patience. And that behind every success story that you guys think you know the whole story, you probably don't know the half of it. So the letter, let me start out with the letter here. And he even, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see he even included like a little, look at this quote post right here with the like, he's so cheesy. Anyways, it says, "You never know which door will lead you toward your dreams until you have the courage to walk through it." Nice, Dad, nice. So he said, "Hey, Mer, while cleaning out some old files, I came across this, your original About Face Fitness business plan. Indeed, from small acorns grow mighty oaks. Mom and I couldn't be more proud of you and Julian and what you are accomplishing, changing lives of so many for the better. Keep up the great work. We know you will." This happened to be the same time that just this past week, my own dad signed up, paid for a membership to street parking. And my mom told me just yesterday he's done 3 workouts this last week. Clearly 12 years ago I had a gym. He never did a workout there. I've been a trainer for 20 years. I've seen him work out now 2 times. Both of them at street parking meetups where he just got fired up by the atmosphere. But now him and my mom are doing it. They have like a little setup in their basement, and I think he's 70 years old. He might be 69 is when he's starting fitness in his life. So, this is probably really fun for him to see, and he's excited about it. And so that was really sweet for him to send me this. And when he sent it to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even remember making this. And I'm pretty sure I didn't get a loan from a bank for this business, this gym in 2008, but I did borrow, I think like $5,000 from my parents. So I'm pretty sure the reason that I have this is because my dad made me make it to show that I was serious and that I had thought through how I was going to make money and if it was going to be realistic and sustainable and stuff like that. My dad is very much like that. So I'm pretty sure I made this for him, which is why he has it and I don't. So it's the About Face Fitness business plan. Obviously, I'm not going to read you my whole business plan. But I wanted to bring it in and talk about this because right now, if you were to find my Instagram page today or find street parking today, you would see a successful business that seems so simple. And maybe not while I'm pregnant, you wouldn't see someone with a certain level of fitness necessarily as much as normal. But when people go to my Instagram page, they'll see where I'm at now at 37 years old. And Instagram didn't exist in January of 2008. This part of my story is nowhere to be found. And that's so true for so many things. And so it's just a lesson again to remember like, hey, I'm only seeing a snippet of this person's success, and just to really understand that behind all of that, there's always a long story. Now, the other reason that I like this business plan is because I do think with social media being what it is today, and just having access to seeing overnight success stories that look like overnight success stories, or maybe, you know, sometimes there are those like really businesses that just take off overnight and we hear about it. It's like, oh my gosh, like Uber, I'm going to start the next like Uber and that's going to happen for me, or I'm going to, whatever it might be that your goals are. People tend to glamorize their success, or they tend to make it look easier than it was, whether that's for weight loss or their business or whatever. And so I think that for a lot of people, there's this idea that things should be easier or faster than they are, regardless of what your goals are. And it's given us the ability to have goals and dreams that are much bigger than I think generations before us ever had. Like our parents didn't have the option of starting an internet business because there was no internet for them to start a business on. So they found more realistic careers and built, and they knew like I start entry-level position and then I work my way up the ladder. And that's just kind of how life worked back then. And now it's like, oh, well, so-and-so became a YouTube star and I'm going to do that, or so-and-so. And so it's great because it's opened our minds to many more possibilities than people have ever had before. But sometimes I think, or a lot of times, I think there's a lack of reality that comes along with those. So what I liked about this was definitely pre-Instagram. I got my Instagram account in 2013. I remember it specifically because I had no idea what it was. And one of the owners of Progenics actually was like, what, you need an Instagram account? And he made me one right there that day. And yeah, and then it just kind of went from there. But so this was 5 years before all of that. And I was a trainer. I was a personal trainer being paid by my one-on-one clients. And even if you charge your clients, you know, I think I was maybe charging them like $70 an hour, which is a lot, but you can only service so many people. And then I had to pay for like my rent at the place that I was and everything. So I was doing okay. But in this business plan, there is nowhere that says I'm going to have a 20,000 person online business and 30 employees. That is not in this business plan. I did not have that in my mind. This is a very realistic thing where I had in here a salary of like $21,600 a year to run this gym. This was going to be my full-time thing. So I think that it's like $1,900 a month or something like that. Because my dad made me go through and say like, what can you afford to pay yourself based on the number of members you think you're going to have? And he made me like make modest projections and aggressive projections. And at no point was it like, no, this is risky, you shouldn't do it. It was, great, you have a goal, you want to do this, let's do it. My dad has some entrepreneurial tendencies, and I've seen him start businesses and close businesses and things like that. So there was never hey, let's be realistic, go get a job, this is crazy. But it was great guidance that I got from my dad when it comes to business about, that's awesome, let's be realistic about it and the steps and what it's going to take. And I really appreciate that. And I think it set me off on a good course. So applying that to other things, let's say fitness, for example, I'm all about your vision boards. I know, especially a lot of you ladies out there, you're like all about the vision boards, whether it's like you cut stuff out of magazines or you have it somewhere on like a Pinterest page or I don't know, whatever. I'm into it. Choose whatever goal body is the goal body. But if that's so far off of where you're at right now, and that would require such a drastic lifestyle change, like maybe let's keep that in mind, but we've got to learn now how to go back to a little bit back to where we were before people had such grandiose ideas all the time. And let's go back to the steps in between and make a plan. So this is a business plan. Let's make a plan for how you're going to get from one step to the next, because I think sometimes it's just the big dream. And if you start on the path and it's not happening fast enough, because we're so impatient these days, it's really easy to quit. The other thing, and this, I've talked about this so many times on this podcast, is about having the proper why for what you're doing. Nowhere in this business plan do I talk about going from that $21,000 a year to $100,000 a year salary. There's nowhere about how I'm going to open a second and third and fourth affiliate, or I'm going to do this and this and this and become this multimillionaire. I think on year 2, I had like a $24,000, you know what I'm saying? So this business plan wasn't about how I was going to become rich overnight. And in my mind, I know that that's not even what I was after. As a matter of fact, when it comes to marketing, let me find the little marketing page here. I shared this with our staff and actually with my Instagram this week, because this, at 25 years old, my marketing plan was this. Through our commitment to providing a program that is unmatched in service, education, community, and results, we will stir a large amount of excitement and conversation from our current clients. It wasn't, I'm going to get on radio shows and I'm going to, go do these like buy one, get one free deals to like get people in my door and trick people into being members and all this stuff. My marketing plan was to do such a good job and to give people results and be committed to this passion that I had for helping people. That was my marketing plan. And that made me, of everything in here, that stood out to me as I knew my why, even if I didn't really realize what my why was when I was 25 years old, 12 years ago. This business plan was written 7 years into already being a coach. So there's even like, this doesn't even tell the whole story. This isn't even the beginning. This is 7 years into me already being in the fitness industry. But my why had already been solidified. I wanted to help people and I wanted to, that was my reason for doing it, right? And so we've talked about that so much on the show, is it's like, you've got to attach a why. You can't just have the like, this is what I'm going to do. If your why is money, if it's a business, that can work, but it's probably you're not going to enjoy the process. It's not going to be as fulfilling as you think it's going to be. And it's going to be easy for you to get derailed. So if my why is to make money and on year 3, I'm still only paying myself $22,000 a year, it's going to be real easy for me to give up at that point. This is taking too long. Like, I don't enjoy it. I'm not in it. At that point, I'm not in it for the right reasons. Like, I'm going to try to look for a better way to make more money. But if my why is helping people and 3 years in, regardless of what I'm able to pay myself, I'm doing that, I'm more likely to stick with it and keep pushing forward. If it's your fitness goals, if your why, again, we've talked about this so much, but you guys always need the reminders. We all do. If your why is to attract more people at the bar or like look better in your Instagram photos, as soon as you realize that that's not as fulfilling as you thought it was going to be, your why for exercising and eating right it's going to be really easy for you to talk yourself out of doing that. So having a goal that's so far away I'm not against that, but making sure you can see the path and being realistic for the patience that's in between, and understanding that there's going to be, like we've talked about also, it's going to take longer, it's going to be harder work. So making sure that it's something that you're really passionate about or really believe in or really want to continue for your whole life is so important. You really need good reasons for anything that you're going to be putting. Our time and energy is so valuable and precious. Everything that you guys are doing should mean something to you or help you get to a place where your life is more meaningful. And only you can decide what that is for you. So I kind of wrote down as I was preparing for today's episode, just some keywords that I was thinking. Definitely have dreams. Definitely take risks. My dad didn't talk me out of having this goal of having this gym. My dad didn't talk me out of taking the risk. But he did make me think it through. And he did make me realize, okay, so if somebody comes to me now and is like, I want to lose 30 pounds, fantastic. Let's take it back to, what is that going to take? How long is that actually going to take? Do you realize there's going to be days where you want to go out with your buddies for drinks after work and that's not an option? Do you realize that you're going to have to spend some time exercising and you're going to be sore and you're going to be uncomfortable and there's going to be days you don't feel like doing it? Those are the steps that nobody talks about. They just talk about the goal and even the plan, but not how the plan's going to feel when you're actually in it sometimes. Be patient. 12 years. So this business plan was written 9 years before I even thought of street parking in my mind. And in between this business plan and when street parking entered my mind was a willingness to learn from as many opportunities and experiences as possible. I wish I had a piece of paper right here that said like the original, contract is the wrong word, but original deal for when I became a seminar staff member for CrossFit, because the first few seminars that I went to, I was not paid. I had to borrow money from my parents to travel to these seminars, to intern, to basically be told to like keep my mouth shut and just learn. And then we started off at like a very modest $500 for 3 days of your life, completely leaving home and your family and being gone on the weekends and then coming back and trying to run this gym. And it took 8 years to develop the confidence in being a coach and the experience to think that I could even pull off something like street parking. And so being willing to take the proper steps. And then just working hard. Just know that whatever your goal is, whether it's weight loss or learning a certain new skill or starting a business or whatever it might be, all of this stuff is the same. Regardless of what your goal is, the path is going to have very similar things, regardless of what it is you're trying to achieve. I'm 100% about it. You need to believe in yourself and know that you can make change in your life and do something that is a little scary. I want everyone to do that stuff. What I don't want people to do is give up because they thought it was going to be easier or take less time than it really will. So hopefully my little story today and this business plan that my dad sent to me will help you guys remember that anytime you guys are seeing a success story, you don't know the whole story. There's so much behind everything that all those things that we don't see. And even before I became a trainer, I'm sure there's parts of my life that I could pick apart from elementary school and junior high and high school that led me to be where I'm at today. So find those goals for yourself, find those visions, take those risks, and the path to the most success is going to be when you can dream big, but also stay realistic about the process at the same time. Hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you later.